And of course, it's live in a couple of different versions tonight. Tonight's invocation will be given by Lisa Cole, our town clerk, followed by the pledge led by the mayor and the town council. Lisa.
Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance tonight. Amen.
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 Thank you, Lisa. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You sounded all so good out there. Thank you. We'll begin with the roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Bracco.
Here.
Councilmember Davis. Here. Councilmember Gillespie.
Here.
Councilmember Morales. Here. Councilmember Priolo.
Here.
Vice Mayor Egbert. Here. Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thanks. Item number 5 is called to the public. At this time, I invite spokespersons and individuals to address the town council on any topic on the consent agenda or any issue the town council can legally permitted to act upon in the future. Appointing a spokesperson is not just a means to extend speaking time, but a way to deliver a specific topic. Provide more details and effectively represent the community's views. Spokespersons representing 10 or more individuals present at this meeting may speak for 10 minutes, individuals for 3 minutes. Instead of the 3-minute speaking times, individuals representing by a spokesperson will be asked to stand while their spokesperson addresses the town council per Arizona open meeting laws. The council cannot discuss matters that are not on the agenda. However, individual council members may respond to criticism made by speakers, request staff to review the matter, or propose adding the topic to a future agenda. That might be the most amount of time talking I'll do tonight. So for the regular call to the public, we have 2 speaker cards. Liz Bordeaux. Liz for the, yep. We have an event coming up that she might want to be talking about.
First, I want to thank the council, mayor, and Parks and Rec for supporting, for saying yes to the entire town cleanup and supporting it and supplying everything that we need for the Keeping Sahuarita Beautiful Cleanup Day, which is this coming Saturday, April 27th, from 10 to noon. We hope to see the whole town here, because we have a group that formed 2 years ago, 2 years in September, we have been formed as a group between myself, Michelle O'Connor, and oops. Could everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And Dale Cuneo. So the 3 of us have put this town cleanup together, and we are just so incredibly grateful to the council, to the mayor, to Parks and Rec, to everyone involved that helped us plan and get this event implemented, which is this coming Saturday, April 27th, 10 to noon. We are just so excited. Our group started out as 5 people cleaning up the Rancho Sahuarita and parts of the Sahuarita, which is Sahuarita Road specifically, because Rancho and Sahuarita Road were enough for 5 people. So now we have an average, our group averages about 22 people every month for the last, I would say, the last 8 months. Started out as 5 to 10 to 15, 16. Last month we had 23.
Nice.
So we're very excited about this group. And when you leave here tonight, there's a banner up on Desert Gem. That's our Keeping Sahuarita banner that we're so excited to have. And we were at the Fiesta Sahuarita event with a table there, and we got so much interest. So we're hoping that y'all will join us in being good stewards of the earth that God gave us. Let's all be good stewards of the earth and pick up litter. When you see it, pick it up. That's what I do. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I pick up litter. I pretty much basically do litter pickup basically on a weekly basis. Now our group meets on a monthly basis, but a lot of us do it weekly. Some of us do it daily. So I hope to see y'all coming out this Saturday, April 27th, 10 to noon.
Thank
So
you.
we're very excited. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thanks.
again, council and mayor
Thanks.
and Parks and Rec and everybody involved that helped us put this together. So thank you
Thank you.
again.
We're meeting at Town Hall.
We're meeting at the town hall. So, and we also have, what's
10.
very exciting about this is we have 5 sponsors for our group now. So,
And their,
yeah.
and their color shirts are yellow, so you'll be able to turn in your red shirts for yellow shirts.
Yes, exactly. That's right, exactly. That's right. So thank you. I hope to see y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Gail Baumgartner?
So I'm not sure what color shirts, we're going to have to come up with something different. Anyway, I'm Gail Baumgartner, I'm a resident of Rancho Sahuarita. And just very quickly, I wanted to let everybody know that the town of Sahuarita is going to be working on a bond to better the town with the new rec center. Can y'all hear me? I'm moving around. They're investigating a bond and we're seeking public input. So all I want to say is just keep your eyes and ears open. We're going to be having announcements on Facebook and on the town websites. We'll keep everybody posted. So looking forward to this and to working with everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail. Appreciate it. So that's all the speaker cards I have for the normal call to the public. The other ones are for the agenda item. But if anybody wants to talk about any other topic, this is the time. Seeing no movement, I'll close the call to the public. And Madam Clerk, item number 6, please.
Discussion and possible adoption of resolution number 2024-0780, authorizing the town to enter into a development agreement between the town of Sahuarita, Vulcan Lands Incorporated, and Calmont Company, if approved as presented, would result in Vulcan's continued operations and use of parcel 303-67002H as guaranteed by a 2000 development agreement with the town, and the withdrawal of the conditional use permit CUP to operate a hot mix asphalt plant HMAP on the property and relinquishing of the right to operate an HMAP in perpetuity.
Thank you. Shane, did you want to start off before I hand it off to John?
Mayor, only to, and council, only to acknowledge Vulcan as a partner at the table to keep the dialogue going as we move through the process. I'll turn the time over to our town attorney to identify the details of the development agreement that's being proposed for your consideration tonight, and then happy to answer any questions as we go through the discussion.
Right. And then after that, Greg with Vulcan wanted to make a few comments, so he knows to come forward, John, as you're kind of wrapping up comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nope.
Oh, the red button. I hit the green button. I thought that's, all right. So a little bit of history, mayor and council, on this to give you background and some perspective. So back in 1999, 2000, the town was annexing about 14 square miles of land to expand the boundaries of the town. Part of that 14 square miles was about 130 acres of land, which we now know as the Vulcan property. As part of the annexation process, the then owner of the property, United Metro Materials, which was the owner of the property, wanted to ensure that they would be able to continue the uses that they had on the property, which included the extraction, processing, and production of sand and gravel products, including the manufacture of Portland cement concrete and asphaltic concrete. Those terms are a little bit aged or dated. Portland cement concrete is concrete, and asphaltic concrete is asphalt. They're essentially the same product. With asphaltic concrete, you add the tar to it. That's what makes it, the black and the smell and all that. So as part of and I'm kind of speculating a little bit here, but obviously, you know, the town couldn't annex the 14 square miles without annexing this, because you can't leave gaps or what are called county islands when you annex. You have to annex kind of a swath of land. So that's kind of my educated speculation as to why that property was annexed into the town. And so at the time, the property owner United was willing to agree to the annexation, and it was going to get the equivalent zoning, which in the county at the time was RH, so they would get RH, you know, town zoning. And then the town agreed to recognize and acknowledge that United's existing uses, the ones I mentioned, and acknowledge those would be able to continue to exist. At the time, the town and United agreed that the continued use and future development of the property would result in significant planning and economic benefits to the town, permitting rational expansion of the town's boundaries and the extension of town services and jurisdiction to the annexed areas. And like I said, even though that property probably wasn't, you know, necessarily, may have not been desired to be annexed, and it was just necessary as part of the annexation process. So with that, the town agreed with United that under the existing Pima County zoning that would then convert to town zoning, that the entire property would be assured continued use of, for extraction, processing, and production of sand and gravel products, and then including but not limited to Portland cement concrete and asphaltic concrete. And when we use the term including but not limited to, and then you give a couple of examples, that's what they are. They're examples. It's not an exhaustive or exclusive list. Otherwise, it would say limited to. So when we talk about that, that's important to kind of remember that. The town also, and United also agreed that the extraction, mining process would continue as a matter of right, but that the operation of a concrete plant or an asphalt plant would require a conditional use permit. And as we know, that is defined in the town code as a type 3 use permit that has to go through the process that we've all been talking about for quite some time. There was a 2-year agreement for 2 years that the United could ask for or apply for those use permits without any cost to them. That 2 years lapsed, and United at the time never went through the process. So in 2015, Vulcan purchased the property. Obviously, Vulcan, you know, whenever you buy a piece of property, as we all know, you get a title report, you get a bunch of documents, and you're entitled to rely on those recorded documents. This 2000 agreement ran with the land, or runs with the land, so it binds successor interests to both the benefits and the obligations of the agreement. So it's like a set of CC&Rs, runs with the land, regardless of who owns it. And so that's the nature of a development agreement. They run with the land under state law, and this was a recorded document. So when Vulcan bought the property in 2015, it obviously looked at this amongst other documents when it bought the property, and part of the purchase relied on this document, so it would be assured that it could continue the uses that were acknowledged and guaranteed in the 2000 agreement. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I am. Yeah, but let's clarify. I'm done with discussing the history of the 2000 agreement. Can't cut me short.
So we're going to tag team this just a little bit, Mayor and Council. So the history is important in that it kind of lays the groundwork for the good faith that Vulcan was leaning on and resting on as they went to purchase their property in 2015. You fast forward to 15 months ago, Vulcan submits under the umbrella of current zoning at the time and this 2000 DA for a type 3 CUP application for a hot mix asphalt plant to be located on that piece of property. We've all experienced the last 15 months together In that course of time, between applicant and town staff, there's been ongoing conversations about the application, about questions, the need for more information, a lot of which has been spurred on by our good public and their due diligence in investigating and inquiring. But the point is that there's been ongoing conversation. Only about a month ago, that ongoing conversation led to a discussion between Vulcan and the town about options. And it was that conversation that led to meetings of the mind in terms of how can we move forward in good faith, representing all the interests that are at the table, not only Vulcan's interests, but the town's interest in the collective. Those conversations evolved to where the DA that is before you tonight was developed, and now I'll have John kind of outline, what that DA represents and the obligations that are contained therein. Thanks.
Thanks.
Right, thanks, Shane. So just to clarify, so under the 2000 development agreement, which runs with the land, Vulcan's has essentially 3 rights. One is the right to mine, and this current agreement sort of better or more precisely defines what that is. It's mining, extracting, excavating, taking, crushing, recrushing, recycling of used construction materials such as concrete and asphalt, washing, producing, using, stockpiling, importing, removing, and selling of construction aggregates, sand and gravel. That's the mining operation that's been going on there since before 2000.
Before we incorporated as a community.
Right, yeah, but I forget exactly how many years, but a long time. As well, and the 2000 agreement also acknowledged that the Vulcan or the property owner was entitled to file an application for CUP to operate an asphalt plant and a ready-mix concrete plant. So that's that Portland cement concrete. The more precise term is a ready-mix concrete plant. And that's, just so everybody, that's the plant that you take it's kind of like if you're going to pour patio at home, you take the bag of ready-mix concrete, you mix it with water, and you fill the big truck that does this as it drives down the street and then pours it. That's the ready-mix concrete plant we're talking about. So, go ahead.
So just to provide some visuals, in terms of what that means. The Portland cement plant on I-10 in Marana. Is it Marana. That is not what's being being contemplated here by way of a ready-mix plant. That plant is a manufacturing operation. They create the mortar, the powder. Mm-hmm. It's not that operation. It really is the powder coming to a site with the aggregate there. You mix the powder with the aggregate with water to create the cement concrete, the liquid concrete that then goes out to the sidewalks or the house pads or whatever it is. So I just want to make sure everybody understood.
Thanks.
So in this agreement, we agree, the town and Vulcan agree that this will assist in creation or retention of jobs, will otherwise improve or enhance the economic welfare of the town residents without giving or loaning the town's credit or aid or making any donation or grant by subsidy or otherwise, by acknowledging Vulcan's mining operations can continue. And the status is the operation continues as long as the mining operation is recognized as a mine by the state mine inspector, and Vulcan continues to do its regular annual report filing. So the definition of mine in Arizona law is that if you're recognized as a mine by the state mine inspector, you have to file annually, and then when you're done mining a property, whether it's copper or sand and gravel, you file basically a remediation closing plan, and then the mining is done, and then the work to remediate goes on. Also, that the town will accept Vulcan's withdrawal of the CUP application. It will allow Vulcan the right to submit a future application for a recognized right under the 2000 development agreement, excluding an asphalt plant. And I know we've had some questions from folks. Asphalt plant is probably the broadest definition you can get in terms of making, so a little bit of correction to what the agenda says. It refers to a hot mix asphalt plant. This would be any asphalt plant, because I know that there are different kinds of asphalt plants, hot mix being one of many. So this is the broadest language that we could come up with. And it would be
All encompassing.
interpreted as the common use of whatever an asphalt plant is. So you can't make asphalt without an asphalt plant. So at any time during the agreement, the Vulcan has the right to basically continue the use of the property as it's currently being used for mining, and to ask for a CUP, it would be a type 3 CUP, to operate a ready-mix concrete plant. One of the mutual benefits to this, and I don't think this is any secret to anybody, is that if this use permit process had gone through, I think it was pretty much everybody's expectation that it would result in some type of lawsuit, regardless of the outcome. And avoiding a lawsuit has a tremendous amount of value, if you because lawsuits cost money. They don't necessarily resolve problems. They certainly don't make friends, usually, but they can be a tremendous drain on any entity's resources. And I think that the good part of that is that this town, by avoiding the potential for lawsuits, by entering into this agreement, can focus its resources on fun things or good things, as we sort of heard, whether it's litter pickup, whether it's a future bond, whether it's a rec center, or what have you, or parks and rec events, which are the good things that people want to focus on rather than lawsuits. The agreement, a development agreement under Arizona law requires 30 days to formally take effect. If there is a referendum on this, and the Vulcan has the right to withdraw, and everybody goes back to their status quo as of now, right now, which means an active use permit. Or if there is a lawsuit challenging this, Vulcan has the right to withdraw, and we go back to our status quo. The benefits to Vulcan are an assurance and certainty in terms of Vulcan's ability to continue its mining operation as described or set forth in the 2000 agreement. So we're sort of restating that or reiterating that. And also that it has the ability to, again, ask for that ready-mix concrete plant through the CUP process. As we know, I don't have to go into a lot of detail, the CUP process has some level of discretion, especially the type 3. So it's not a matter of right to do the concrete plant, it's simply going through that process. So in essence, this agreement will not only withdraw the current use permit application, but it will also Vulcan will forever waive its right or forego its right to even ask for a use permit for an asphalt plant on that property. So
And by virtue of it being a development agreement, that will apply to successors and run with the land?
This runs with the land, and by the language in here, that it runs with the land and binds and benefits future owners of the
All
property.
assignees and successors.
Sorry?
All assignees and
Yes,
successors.
yes,
going
all the
forward.
successors. So the town is agreeing that it will acknowledge the rights under the 2000 agreement, except for the right to ask for or operate an asphalt plant. The town agrees that it won't initiate any process to challenge the status of Vulcan's mining operations for so long as the property is recognized as a mine by the state mine inspector. And then there is a town-owned right-of-way that sort of cuts through the property that the town agrees it's going to abandon. It really serves no
No
purpose,
use.
no use, has no value. And so it's just really a title cleanup issue. And Vulcan, in return, will withdraw its application and with prejudice, and will give up its right to seek an asphalt plant on the property. Vulcan waives any claims under what we call Prop 207 and any takings claim under the Arizona Constitution, so it resolves that issue. And then it agrees to notify the town if Vulcan ceases to operate the mine or files notice with the mine inspector. And again, it agrees to accept that right-of-way, that paper right-of-way. That's the gist of the agreement,
Okay, thank you.
Mayor and Council.
Shane, did you want to add anything else before I bring Greg up?
No, I think that covers it,
Good-
unless there's
good summary.
questions from the council to
Any
me
any questions
or John.
for John? Nope, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Greg? I think the mic is probably already on, but on the bottom, or the front right, there's a toggle switch that raises the dais up. There you go.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, members of the council, my name is Greg Harris. I'm here on behalf of Vulcan, and I'm with the Aiken Law Firm in Phoenix, and I really appreciate the chance to be with you today and to see all of you today. Vulcan supports the development agreement, and I will say my remarks are going to be much shorter than much shorter.
Thank you.
I want to express my appreciation and my thanks to you, Mayor, to your town manager, to your town attorney, to Anna Cassidy, your planning and zoning director, for taking the time. This has been quite the process, but as was indicated, we began conversations about a month ago, and I appreciate the chance that we've had to have the dialogue, substantive and concrete, to give us the chance to reach the process today, the development agreement that's before you today. Vulcan joins the town staff in its support, and we ask for the council's vote to approve the development agreement. The site, as Mr. Palladini said, as Mr. Dill said, where Vulcan operates, it's been active at the site long before Vulcan owned it, and Vulcan looks forward to continuing to be in operation for some time, and to be able to continue to provide the materials that provide for the infrastructure, development, and maintenance that are important to this town's growth and vitality. I said I'd be brief. This is the end. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions that you
Thank you, not this
have.
time, no, and we appreciate, I know your continued partnership as a stakeholder. We appreciate as you continue these operations. Any questions for Mark before we only have a few calls to the public cards, so if you wanted to stay kind of in the area in case there's any questions.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Gail, you have a return visit. Well, I think that's your writing and your submittal, right?
Okay, so this is actually where I thought this short shirt was appropriate for tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody can see. Everybody knows Hakuna Matata? Okay. I just wanted to very briefly thank everybody on the council, on the Planning and Zoning Commission, all the staff for their painful, laborious putting up with everything from our group, everything from the town, everything that was submitted, requested. There's been a lot of emotion up to this point, but you guys have stayed steady, and just really wanted to say thank you for finding a way, as John was talking about, that would benefit everybody. So that's it.
Thank you, Gail.
And I thought you just came to say goodbye to me.
Oh, see? John O'Rourke?
Good evening, Mr. Murphy, Council. My name's John O'Rourke. I looked at my emails a little bit earlier and noticed that indeed 15 months. The residents were actually involved in the situation. Before Vulcan had even submitted the CUP application, 15 months. And I have to thank you for, again, your patience, as Gail said, for listening to us, for your due diligence, for your real passion about this entire issue for 15 months. During that time, I think there may have been some comments that were a little bit harsh, that were maybe a little bit accusatory, and if that's the case, I would like to apologize. And having said that,
No, just stop there, John.
no.
Just stop there.
My wife, who's the physics major, would say, well, before you have traction, you have to have friction. And for 15 months, you've seen some friction, and it looks like tonight, thank you, we've got some traction. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John. Carl Larson, and then David Wolf on deck.
Arnold Murphy.
Good
Mayor
evening.
Murphy.
Good evening.
I hope you can read my sheet today. I made it just so the right size for you, sir.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You didn't type it, though.
Well,
David,
I was trying to throw a
come on
little
now.
curveball in there. Councilman, members, thank you so much. From my heart, 41 months ago, or 41 weeks ago, I wrote you guys a letter. My letter stated that I had faith in you. I had faith in the fact that you guys would work on do the right thing. As of tonight, I haven't heard your vote yet, but I think you're going to do the right thing. In my gut, I feel you're going to do the right thing. I know I was an integral part of giving you guys grief. I didn't mind it.
It was just your handwriting.
I really appreciate the fact, and my wife and I both appreciate the fact, that along with our neighbor, we're going to continue to make Sahuarita a great place to live. I think this is a step in a fantastic direction. I think basically, this is the first time in my life that council people listen to us. You heard us. You heard us speak. And I think you're going to continue to hear us speak. We may not have said the right things at all times. And I too, along with John, I apologize if I've said anything, but I don't think I did.
My wife has said much worse over
Okay.
time, so.
As long as we have that agreement, I still love you, Mayor Murphy. With that in mind, I do appreciate Anna Cassidy, and I do appreciate Shane, and I do appreciate John, maybe a little bit.
I'll take anything I can get.
There. And I do appreciate the fact that Vulcan came up tonight and said the things that they needed to say to get this job done, because the stress that this put on was rough. And I think tonight, and once we heard that there was an agreement, oh my gosh, there was like a huge lifting of pressure that was on this community that really didn't need to be had. And I think for that, I'm not gonna say any more. I appreciate it. My wife and I appreciate it. Thank you. Good luck, sir, in your endeavors, and good luck, neighbor, in your endeavors. And I look forward to coming back. I hope I don't have to be back here in a while.
Right. But you're always welcome.
But I appreciate the fact to be able to speak, voice my heart, my soul, and see that you guys did well for us, our community.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mayor, can I make a comment real quick?
Yes.
So I for the benefit of all of our participants tonight, and really appreciate everybody being here. Our town council just got done earlier today with a multi-day budget retreat, and I have the opportunity to open that retreat up with some comments. And one of the comments that I made with them in my opening statement was the importance of community. You know, I recognize, and I want to recognize that community is so powerful. A community is, its greatest power is discovering what's most important to it, right? And I really want to acknowledge that when we say community, as a community, it's all of us as property owners, as residents, as business owners. Vulcan is very much a part of our community. And so when we say community, it really represents all of us. And we wouldn't be able to have an agreement like this if it wasn't for Vulcan coming to the table and wanting to continue to be a community player. And so I just wanted to recognize how important that is. It was definitely important to hear from all of you as stakeholders, Vulcan included, and it really is community that brings us here tonight together in forming this agreement, and it's really going to be community that keeps us going forward in a very positive way, all of us as community. So I just wanted to make that
I would
statement.
echo
Thank
those
you.
comments. Thanks, Shane. Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Dilly, for what you just said. And as you also said earlier, it's been 15 months. 15 months ago, there were 3 of us in the community. Myself, Ed, and a gentleman named Randy. And it grew. People were interested and passionate about their needs and concerns about what was happening in the town. We now have about 1,400 people in a Facebook group. Yesterday, Monday, I sent out 700 emails. It's a different group to let people know about this meeting tonight, and thank you all for being here. It's really grown, and we've all had some interesting learning experiences along the way. And so I bet you didn't know that I used to own a rock and gravel pit on my property. And I sold it to the guys with the dump trucks. So I've seen this before. But I would like to extend my thanks to all the parties that participated in the CUP application process, especially those parties that were willing to engage with concerned citizens of Sahuarita. Wish I could learn to say that right. Including Vulcan Materials Company. They worked with us to get some tours early on. They didn't have to do that. The mayor, the town council, the staff of the town of Sahuarita, Pierce Coleman, and the Farmers Investment Company, who has been coming to our meetings, our little personal meetings once a month and working with us, advising us, supporting us, not financially. We didn't always see the issues in the same light, but it pleases me to no end that all parties performed their roles in a most professional manner and were able to establish an agreement that is in the best interest of the town and its residents. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Mark Zimmerman?
Honorable Mayor Murphy, council members and town staff, my name is Mark Zimmerman, and this is a great day indeed. And my wife, LaDonna, cannot be here tonight. She gives her apologies. But when the news broke that there had been an agreement made, there were tears of joy. And so we thank you for that. I would like to personally take this time to thank the town of Sahuarita staff for their commitment and hard work in coming to a resolution with Vulcan Materials on the Vulcan HMA Cup issue. Thank you as well for your professionalism and your patience in working with the general public and also with the steering group at CCS. It is indeed comforting to know that there will be no HMA plant coming to Sahuarita. Thank you as well to Vulcan for coming to the table. I would also like to publicly thank concerned citizens of Sahuarita, steering group team, for their tireless leadership and monumental efforts throughout this process. You are a dynamic. And awesome team of individuals that clearly articulated why an asphalt plant did not fit the vision of this community. Thank you as well to the rank and file members of CCS. Your passion for keeping your community safe has been infectious and indeed helped to bring us to this day. Personally, I am a man of faith, even though I said what I said earlier. And I, along with many others gathered here tonight, above everything else, we want to thank the good Lord for answering our prayers. Once again, thank you to all the parties involved for bringing this issue to a satisfactory resolution. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. That's all the speaker cards I have. Anybody else can? Oh. I already filled it out. Okay, thanks.
I usually don't write anything down, Mr. Mayor, so this is a first for me. Honorable Mayor, Town Council, my name is Lee Stopp. I'm a citizen here. Town Council, Town Manager, Town Attorney, staff, and citizens of Sahuarita. Congratulations to everyone on your collective efforts on resolving the issue of an asphalt plant within our community. After thousands of hours of working to assist the town in addressing this issue, the citizens of Sahuarita can finally relax, knowing that the democratic process and the involvement of citizens in local government still means something here in Sahuarita, Arizona. As I mentioned publicly more than a year ago, many of our citizens, like myself, chose to move to this area and call Sahuarita our new home. We brought our experience and our expertise with us, along with a firm belief in the governmental system of democracy and citizen involvement in that democracy. Several years ago, I had the honor and privilege of commanding some of our nation's heroes, those who choose to serve their country in uniform. While serving in Iraq, I had the opportunity to observe the Iraqi people voting for their first time. Many had never been allowed to vote, so the people were overjoyed with their first taste of democracy, having a voice in their government, and walking away with their purple thumbprint. At times, it often appears nowadays that elected officials and big business are out of touch with the public. The press often displays the scenes from local government public meetings across the country, wherein the public and elected officials are often at odds with one another. I want to take this opportunity to applaud the entire town council in their collective efforts to listen to all concerned citizens over the past 15 months. Thank you all for your professionalism, your patience, and your genuine concern for all of your constituents. We would not be here today to discuss this development agreement without the tireless effort of the town manager, the town attorney, and the town staff. The elected officials just signed the document. All those other people did the hard work.
Absolutely.
Your willingness to listen to all concerned citizens while also working with the applicant to find a solution to this is highly commendable. From past experience, I know that it is often difficult to remain professional and dedicated when you have to listen to each and every citizen on the same issue over and over again for 15 months. Well done, and my hat's off to everyone on the staff. I also want to thank the applicant Vulcan for working with the town staff to find a solution, knowing that the public was highly concerned about many issues related to a potential asphalt plant in our neighborhood. By your actions, through the execution of the development agreement, you have shown that your desire is to work with the community in making Sahuarita a great place to work, live, play, and often, as you can tell from our audience, retire. On behalf of many concerned citizens, thank you for placing community concerns and community service above corporate profit. You hardly ever see that. In closing, I'd like to thank all of the concerned citizens of Sahuarita who gave of themselves to becoming involved in the process of community involvement, whether it was attending community meetings, town council meetings, always wearing a red shirt, or just posting a comment on a Facebook page. Your voice and your efforts contributed to resolving this important issue. If I was still in the military, I'd pin a medal on every damn one of you. But all I can say is that I'm honored to have served with you in this battle. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the council? You can just give it to Bill. We'll hand it down. Thanks.
I'm Linda Beal, and I have learned a great deal over the past 15 months. The issue has caused me to do a lot of studying I wouldn't have done, and it's also given me the opportunity to speak with you, the council, and the staff. And I acknowledge that I have sometimes been very, very frustrated and taken that into consideration with my remarks. Thank you for listening, and thank you, concerned citizens and the leadership of concerned citizens. This is a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you. If anybody else would like to speak, you can now, but it does hold us up from the vote, just telling you on there. If not, I'll entertain a motion. at
Mr.
this
Mayor?
time. Yes.
Can I make a quick comment first? Do you mind?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to say that I think I'm going to miss you guys. And I also want to...
Now you're lying to the public.
I look at some of you and I'm like, oh, they won't be here next time. But I also just want to thank Vulcan for being at the table and looking at it as a partnership in our community and as a business that we are very business friendly in this community, and we're grateful to have them in our community in the work that they do.
Thank you.
I'll let you do that.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 2024-0780.
And that would be option one.
Option one. Option
I
one.
didn't know we had an option.
Yep. Option,
Option one.
I'll second it. Option one, just for clarification, is approval of the proposed development agreement with Vulcan Lands, Inc. as presented.
right. You agree with that motion?
Yes.
Yes. And you're seconding it? Any other further discussion? I was going to say a couple of words, but everybody was so eloquent, I'm going to go right to the question. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for being here. Having no more further business, we're adjourned. You don't have to even sit back down.